Hello YouTube, hello, and we're back, of course. And today we're gonna do something different. I don't usually do videos like this, I'm gonna be honest, but something important is happening right now. It is pretty important to talk about, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about it. Yesterday, I think this was yesterday anyway, Nakatsu announced that he was gonna be leaving Bandai Namco after 20 years. And this is very important, everyone's talking about this right now, but I just want to give my opinion about all this as well and what I think about it, because even though I usually voice my opinion a lot on my streams, I never actually, concisely told everyone. So I'm gonna do it in the form of a YouTube vid. So the thing is, I'm actually very grateful for Nakatsu and all of the dev team in general for making Tekken 8, because I really like Tekken 7, and making the next Tekken game was very, very good for me. Obviously, it was very good for me. Tekken 8 has been, done really well for me. It has. And it was really fun as well when I first started playing it. But when the problems started piling up, I was also the person that would voice his opinion. I would almost always voice my opinion. Whatever I think, I always say. Almost always, I just say it. Because I think it's important to voice your opinions well. Maybe not as disrespectfully as some people would do it, right? Sometimes it can be very disrespectful, especially if you do it directly. But it's very important to actually say if you don't like something. If you see a potential in something, you can say that. But if you don't like something, you should also say that, so that something can be changed, especially if it's something important to you. And Tekken is important for a lot of people. For the people watching right now, most likely it's very important for them as well, right? Just like any other competitive thing is important for some other person. I don't really understand people who say that, oh, it's just a video game, or it's Tekken, it's a video game, you don't have to be too upset about it. But just like people are upset about football, let's say football fans, they can be upset about things. Basketball fans, they can be upset about things. Sports in general, right? It's a competitive nature of something, and being a fan of that something, that will upset you. It's just normal. It is very normal. But just like every other competitive sport, people can be disrespectful towards other people or towards something, right? But as I said, I'm always a fan of voicing your opinion if you don't like something. But if you do it respectfully, that's fine. If you do it disrespectfully, that's a different issue. But I had the same issue with Tekken. Right? I have a lot of issue with Tekken, and some people are like, oh, it's Nakatsu's fault. Some people are like, well, maybe it's Harada's fault whenever he was still in the Bandai, or it's Michael's fault, or whatever, because they were the faces of Tekken, right? And they were for a long time. Harada was the face of Tekken for a long time. Ever since then, it was mostly Nakatsu and Michael, and now since Nakatsu left, it's mostly gonna be Michael now, right? Mostly. But yeah, now let me actually express why I'm so dissatisfied with the game. Even though in Season 1, as I said, I had a lot of fun with it because it was new. The main thing why I dislike the game, personally, and a lot of people are also disliking the game. Maybe that was one of the reasons Nakatsu had to leave. Who knows, right? Who knows why? But Tekken 8 has been a roller coaster, to say the least. But for me, personally, anyway, the reason why is because Tekken 8 doesn't really remind me of how Tekken worked in Tekken 7, because that's the only other Tekken game I've played. Because the way Tekken 8 works reminds me of interactions I've had in Tekken 7 when I played against 2D characters, especially Akuma. Like, a lot of people know Akuma was in Tekken 7, and he kind of broke the game, right? He kind of broke the game. If you search for Akuma right now on YouTube or anywhere else, you will see that Akuma breaks Tekken. This is a game-breaking character, the best character in the game. And the interactions you had to go through Akuma were unique, kinda, right? I'm gonna give you guys an example. For Akuma, when you, let's say, blocked a wall standing 2, you had to have an anti-air button specifically to use after it to catch him jumping afterwards. Even though the move was like minus 13 or 14, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, you had to do an anti-air move to catch him jumping and then float him. So you had to press a button. If you sidestepped, it wouldn't work, because the jumping options afterwards actually covered sidesteps well. And Akuma could just pressure you more and more if you did that. Does that sound familiar to you guys, that after a button you are forced to press a specific button to stop the offense of a specific character? That's Tekken 8. Now, these kind of interactions for me are not as enjoyable, to say the least, right? I don't like these kind of interactions when you're forced to press a button to stop a specific option, and if you don't press that button, you're gonna be in a disadvantage. You can't use movement. You can't use specific movement patterns. You can't do anything about it. You have to press that button, right? You kinda have to, most of the time. And if you don't, you have to accept getting mixed up more and more. And the funny part about that was Akuma also had options against that button. So they could beat that button if they predicted it as well. They had some options. And it's exactly the same in Tekken 8. When you block something, especially that something goes into a stance, you have the same kind of situation when you press a button. For the guys who have watched me like lab things and let's say explain things and knowing what to do after some things, I say a lot to, let's say, you block this. It's good to down jab here, because when you down jab, you stop the pressure, right? Or jab, or anything, something like a power crush. Now this is a very, very similar philosophy and mindset that we had against Akuma in Tekken 7. But now it's for every character, especially if that character has a stance. And the character having a stance in Tekken 8 is almost every character in the game. Maybe not one or two, almost everyone, right? 40-ish characters, almost everyone. So this is one of my biggest gripes with the game, that it's too button heavy and not movement focused enough, because that's what I liked about Tekken. While the movement is still there, don't get me wrong, but it's not emphasized as enough and it's not as worth anymore. You're getting mixed up more when you move than if you press buttons. You're still getting mixed up, but the reward for the buttons is way higher, and the reward for the aggressor predicting your buttons is also way higher. So I feel like this is a 2D mindset. It is a very 2D mindset. Like when someone, let's say, in a 2D game, pressures you a lot, you have an invincible button, invincible shoryu, let's say, you can get out of it. And the attacker can predict it, bait it, stop their offense, and then punish you for it. It's kind of the same mindset. It has a very 2D mindset behind that. That whenever you're getting pressured, you press a button, and if the attacker, kind of predicts it, they stop or use a specific thing to beat that button. You usually, right? And that's a very 2D mindset that Tekken 8 has, in my opinion. This is what I think. Tekken 8 has a very 2D mindset to offense that it didn't really have that before in Tekken 7, outside of some 2D interactions like against Akuma. Outside of that. Sometimes they were there, sometimes, rarely they were there, sometimes, right? But movement was always emphasized to be really good in Tekken 7, backdashing or sidestepping, or especially complicated movement patterns like sidestep ducks or backdash ducks, and like mini fuzzies standing up. Now, if you guys notice, in Tekken 8, I don't usually advise you guys to do something like this. Whenever we block something and they go into a stance, I don't tell you guys to do a sidestep right into a duck and you will avoid a lot of the options unless they predict it and maybe continue pressure because of it. I don't usually advise you guys to do that. What I tell you guys is to down jab. I just tell you guys to down jab and get out of the pressure. And if they read it, whatever, right? They just read your option, but you have to down jab. Now that is something I dislike, even though it's good. And the reason I dislike it so much is because I've labbed these situations, and the conclusion I've gotten is to press buttons because it's not worth doing movement. Right? So this is my gripes with Tekken 8 mostly, and I think this is what's happening with Tekken mostly as well. It's becoming, its mindset is shifting towards more of a 2D mindset when it comes to its offense and even its defense. So this is one of the things I don't like. Next thing I did want to talk about was Michael, because after this happened, and this post happened as well, Michael actually did a reply to one of them. So the original tweet said that the two patches were not done by Nagatsu. He had helped guide whoever did it, so he was in the right direction. Tekken will be fine, hopefully, but I also think that Murray may leave soon as well for the trio to be working under Harada's new team. Right? And Michael said, you guys can see it as well, that the online Tekken community makes it pretty easy. Harada and Nagatsu put up with corporate petroleum is just saying. So this is saying that they put up with corporate, but they couldn't put up with the online Tekken community. This is what it's saying. Now, I don't know what to say about this, because every time Michael tweets something about Tekken, I can't defend this man, even if I tried. Like, I cannot defend this man. I can't. Now, I want you guys to understand. I'm not saying anything bad about the person, but I'm saying something bad about the action of a person. This is very different, right? So any time Michael usually tweets about Tekken, it's not that good. Right now, he's basically blaming the fans of Tekken 8 for not liking Tekken 8. That's what he's doing. Why don't you like my game? You should like my game. Or our game. Well, doesn't matter. My company's game. Doesn't matter, right? The game. Why don't you like it? I want you guys to like it. And if you don't like it, please don't express it so badly. Right? Please don't be rude about it. Right? Even though that's something entirely realistic to expect. I've already compared this, right? Football and basketball fans, they're one of the most toxic people you'll ever see. It's the same with any competitive sport. It's the same with any competitive thing, like a competitive video game. It can be like this. It can. But putting the blame on the fans is never the right move. This is not something I would ever defend. Right? Ever. But yeah, later on he also went to say this. Right? No worries, I'm good. See, people are finally realizing action has consequences. He's further emphasizing that it's our fault and it's the consequence of whatever we were doing. Which, as I said, is horrible. You never blame the fans. As a game developer, let's say, or anything connected to game development, or the game in general, you do not blame the fans. They're the reason the game exists. How would you ever blame the fans? Right? And then he went into... I can't defend this man even if I tried. So, yeah, blaming the fans for them leaving, someone said this, and then he replied. Now, usually you would see something like this, and you wouldn't reply. You'd be like, yeah, who cares? And who cares? This guy thinks this, okay, who cares? I just won't reply. But, no, he had to reply, who are you and what have you done of note in life? He had to reply. He had to say, what color is your Bugatti? He had to say that. My Bugatti is bigger than yours. That's what he had to say. And we all know how ridiculous this sounds. But yeah, I can't defend this man. Every time I see it, I just see him tweet anything about Tekken, I just can't defend him. You do not blame the fans, obviously. You don't. It's not the fans' fault that they don't like the game. A lot of people who like Tekken 7 do not like Tekken 8. A lot of people who like Tekken in general also do not like Tekken 8. Maybe you have to put on a little bit more realistic glasses and see why that's not happening, or why that's happening in general. And maybe try to fix it, because if you don't fix it, they will still keep disliking the game. And you have to also expect that some people will be toxic and rude about it. That's life, okay? That's not just competitive sports or competitive video games. That is life. It's just how it is. And you have to accept it. But yeah, a little bit of a different video today, YouTube. A little bit different, but I just wanted to share my thoughts about all of this. As I said, I cannot defend Michael, but Nagatsu, I mean, he was doing a great job in general. He was at least doing hard work, right? He was trying his best. And if it worked out or not worked out, doesn't matter. It's sad to see him go. But yeah, YouTube, big thank you for watching. Big thank you for watching. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Till then.